Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Atari here today, and today I'm going to be talking about a video. It's regarding the Dragon Ball Super manga and the anime and the power scaling. Really power scaling we're focusing on here, like who's stronger, in order to understand a little bit more. And I'm using this for a specific argument, and you'll see that at the end of the video. So to begin, we start with Goku. The first difference you'll notice in the Super manga is that, well, for starters, Super Saiyan, Goku was able to beat Frieza in one hit. No surprise there. But then he beat Cell in 2 shots in his flashback. So that's showing that he's definitely increased in power. And considering that visual flashbacks, for the most part, depending on who you are, if you accept them as, a viable reasoning to, scale a character's power, then sure. We won't say his Super Saiyan matches Kid Buu because we didn't get to see that part as he was interrupted by Goten. So for the most part, we could say his Super Saiyan form basically got 3 times stronger. My argument to this, his Super Saiyan 2 form was stronger than Gohan was when he fought Cell. So his Super Saiyan 2 form definitely could have competed with Super Perfect Cell, but in order to dominate him in 2 hits, I would argue that he would have to at least be, a bit stronger. So since Super Saiyan 2 is a 2 times multiplier, saying that he got 3 times stronger, compared to when he fought Buu is, a very viable argument. Even though it's been only a few months, you have to also consider the Zenkai boost as well. Now, moving on to the next part. We noticed that in the Dragon Ball Super manga, Goku never absorbed the God Ki in a sense of his base form. Not in the same way you would say he did in the anime or movie, where in the movie he got the essence or knew some of the experience, though it wasn't the same as the form. In the anime, he completely, or is asserted that he completely absorbed all of the God Ki, and his Super Saiyan form, at least shown here, was definitely on par with Super Saiyan God. In fact, they even say now above Super Saiyan God. So the anime is a little bit more overpowered. And again, this is to no surprise, considering in the anime adaptation, Kid Buu was shown destroying a galaxy over a course of years, while in the manga, he only destroyed a few hundred planets in a few years. So again, it shows you there's quite a gap in terms of raw power. Characters in the anime are of course stronger than the manga in terms of scaling and some of the feats they pull off depending on how you look at it. Now again, going on with the next part is besides Goku not absorbing the God Ki, we also have to take into account that when he lost, Whis came and stopped the battle. Now, again, Goku put up quite a fight, but it wasn't dominant. Goku was still clearly losing. Beerus, of course, was again not scratched, but it was quite an uphill battle. The anime, because it extended the battle, it made it look like it was closer than the gap really was. In reality, the manga kind of keeps this gap consistent. The next part in the manga is that future Trunks is... Oh, excuse me, I'm skipping. Back, forth. Now, what I want to say is that in the manga, of course, skipping over the resurrection of F arc, Goku has no Saiyan above God, so Super Saiyan Blue is definitely stronger than Super Saiyan Red. And I'm going to give you my hypothetical headcanon multipliers that might be a little bit more coherent with the source that, what I'm about to use as my argument later. But before we get there, let's consider this. Vegeta in the manga is implied to be stronger than Hit, but he used up too much stamina, so he didn't even have 10% of his strength. So considering that, Vegeta was definitely at a disadvantage. Goku was able to be stronger than Hit because, as they announced, you need to be stronger than Hit in order to not be affected by his time. Because if you're on par or slightly weaker, it works on you, regardless. So you can't even be even with him in strength. So Super Saiyan God had to at least be 10% of Vegeta's power, based on lowballing and assertion. Now, of course, if this was the case, we can argue that Super Saiyan Blue would possibly be a 50% increase, or even based on this factor, you don't want to say a 10 times increase. That's a little insane. And I'll tell you why that's a little insane a little bit later. But for the most part, we'll say a 50% increase. Let's say if he was about 20% or more or less, it depends. Even if Goku was 50% of what Vegeta needed to be, he was definitely showing that his God form which he can access in the manga, unlike the anime, was actually able to keep up with Hit pretty well. So again, they have Super Saiyan God and, according to Whis, Super Saiyan Blue, separate forms, of course, which is what we really wanted. And what I'm really getting across right here at this point is the anime doesn't give us an indication of if Goku's using God Ki or not. That's why they have the two base form theory, or Goku implying God Ki in his base, or he's not. If rather he's, holding back, or, what the heck is going on? If Goku's base can equal God Ki, like, is it because Goku doesn't use the ritual, his hair doesn't go red anymore? Is he just Saiyan beyond God? We don't get any indication, and the manga helps us clarify the gaps pretty easily. Unlike the anime, the manga doesn't infer that we can't infer that Goku's base form is equal to his God, because he has a God form already. Luckily in the manga, we know that Vegeta is definitely stronger than Hit, and we also know that Goku is stronger than Hit as well. So there was no need for Kaioken times 10, and no, Goku has no access to Kaioken times 10, at least that we've seen thus far. So the power scaling for Goku and Vegeta are still quite close. And in fact, what I love about the manga is we also get future Trunks, who is at least on par with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, let's just look at it this way. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is slightly stronger than Kid Buu. We'll say, for the sake of this demonstration, 25%. So if he's 25% stronger than Kid Buu, that would mean Kid Buu is 3 times stronger than Super Saiyan 2, rather than being 4 times stronger than Super Saiyan 2 like Super Saiyan 3. However, Super Saiyan 3 running out of energy, Kid Buu can keep up with this constantly. And that's why Vegeta also did not get completely fodderized, or at least not in the matter where he would die instantly. Now, moving on, another thing I also enjoy was that, so we get that, we get like a little bit more background story on Trunks, which gives us the Mystic Trunks idea. Now, he never turned Mystic, but we get an idea of what he had to go through and how strong he's become. Another thing is that Trunks is able to compete with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I think I mentioned that already. But Super Saiyan 2 Trunks was able to match Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Of course, I would call this MSSJ2, or Mastered Super Saiyan 2, because it looks like Trunks really relies on Super Saiyan 2 a lot throughout the rest of the anime and the manga. So we'll just say, for the sake of the fact that he can keep up with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he definitely has mastered Super Saiyan 2. He found the maximum power output for Super Saiyan 2, of course, in a more efficient way to not drain Ki. Again, he said he's been training 10 years of his life, like his life depended on it. And again, I just want to emphasize there's a difference between, urgent training and casual training. So, keeping that in mind, it's no surprise that Trunks can keep up with Goku after all those years, and Goku still compares him to Gohan after he fought Cell. So of course, his base form is not that much stronger, in the manga at least. So, in conclusion, for the most part, what I'm really asserting here is the Akira Toriyama multipliers for the movie, such as Goku's a 6, Beerus is a 10, and Whis a 15, can still be used in the manga based on power scaling being a little bit more easier to follow. So, I mean, again, if we said Goku was a half of Vegeta's Super Saiyan Blue strength, or half of Super Saiyan Blue strength in general, then we can at least understand that, maybe he's a little bit stronger. Maybe the God scale is, of course, different if it is 10 times stronger, but for the most part, we know that, okay, because, Super Saiyan God did kind of get bopped, when he fought Beerus in the manga, but at the same time, considering, its strength cap, I mean, it's no surprise if it was 50% stronger, which would put Goku, instead of a 6, would you increase 6 plus, 3, would you give him a 9? Or even if you want to argue lowball sake, like to say 8. So Super Saiyan Blue would be like an 8 or 9, which would have made a little bit more sense. And we don't have Kaioken times 10, so we can't pull off any bullcrap. And, that kind of makes a lot more sense. But then again, it probably isn't the case. But I just like to use the God scale only for the manga, because the manga is a little bit more consistent with giving us scaling. But anyway, that has just been my video for today. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And get ready for some more content coming from Atari regarding, Dragon Ball power scaling, or any other anime for the most part, because I won't only focus on Dragon Ball Z. But alright guys, Atari out.